Welcome to another mount related video. In today's video we'll be looking mostly with a focus on what's called the Janka Cross Glide Pro mount, and we're going to start in my car. You can see I already have everything installed. What you can also see is that I'm using a suction cup based system here. So two very large suction cups with an extra wide beam, which can be made much shorter, but in this case this is just for testing. But you can see it straddles the LCAS camera cover and gives it a little extra shade, so that helps keep it cooler. These suction cups actually have a locking mechanism which makes them extremely strong. In fact, they already provide pretty good suction even when it's not activated, but right now it's on, and if I flip it to off, it'll obviously come off with the aid of this little pull tab. But anyway, let's just focus with the actual mount now. Comes off real easily, so you can see what it looks like. This is a Comma.ai. And then you can see what the receiver is, if you want to call it a receiver. Or the USB-C cable that is included with it is fairly long. I have it running up like this right into the harness box. I've got multiple harness boxes. This is the older version, but you can see fairly long cable. I recommend if you actually do use this kind of support structure with the suction cups, that you add something to hold the cable here as well. Otherwise it'll tug down with gravity on this port. The process of mounting this is very simple, but since it's all dark, it can be hard for you to figure it out the first time if you're doing it in your dark garage. So that's why I have it outside right now, and you just have to hold it in such a way that both surfaces are flat against here. Okay, and then you just slide it from the left to the right, obviously, and like that. Very simple. And to unlock it, hopefully you can see this little tab. I'll show it more inside the house, but all you have to do is push that tab down. It's a spring loaded, and then you just pull to the left like that. Very quick and easy. Uses no magnets, so it's what I would call a quick mount, not a mag mount. And there's really not much to say other than they went the route of using a cable like this, a regular kind of cable, instead of a custom-made cable, which is a more expensive route. I'll talk about that more later. It has a little bit of little play here. You can see it kind of, I can vibrate it a little bit, and you'll notice that vibration even at, let's say, 40 miles an hour. You'll notice some vibration, but it really doesn't affect the open pilot performance at all. Once you get up to speeds closer to like 80 miles an hour, which is not going to be legal in most places, but if you're going that fast, then this will be vibrating very quickly. It can be annoying. You can turn up the stereo. That would be one way of ignoring it. Another way of ignoring it, though, would be, or addressing it rather, would be to pad. So you could pad this area with a little bit of electrical tape. So anything that's gonna just eliminate the extra play will help you out in that situation. This is a little bit different than the previous mount, which was the it was a resin mount that was CNC'd as well, but resin as opposed to aluminum. So, and you can see I have the website here. It's actually his first anniversary, so he's got a sale going on, and congratulations to him on that. You can see some of his products on the main page, and as I mentioned, the resin-based one here on the left, and then next to that you have the and this resin-based one, it is magnetic, which does give a different experience because now this is the older version where you can see these pogo pins like that, and snaps together, locks in, very satisfying. Here's a newer version, so it aligns more with what that looks like. It's got a different kind of connection there. So still locks in like that. In this particular one, you see it has a an angle adapter. So if you are in a truck, you might want like a 8-degree adapter or something like that. And then anyway, the new mount, like most of the mount dealers, they'll send you all the things that you need. Screws, adhesives, you get everything that you need. That's fantastic. Thorough about what he gives you, and very customer centric. So that's really cool. You might have also noticed I have this here with the suction cups. In this case, I gave him the specifications for the camera cover, and then he made this. He made it way too wide, but it was really just for experimenting. So it does allow me to test the overall functionality. And in this case, you can see it fastened with some, you can see here some Phillips screws. So 4 of them there. And then this is the main metal mount that you would get when ordering the Pro. So anyway, and then I've also got here some of the older mounts that I've reviewed before. This is the Tune quick mount. And this is a Cloud J, which is no longer sold anymore, but just here just to show you. Some people are interested in the thickness of them. So you can tell this is kind of thick. I'll just kind of measure it without the sticky VHB on it. So you can tell 21.72 millimeters with the VHB, 22.7 or so millimeters. Should be about the same for this one, about 22, 23 millimeters for this newer version. And then I'm not going to bother measuring the little wedge, the angle adapter there. This was something that he had just thrown in to show how he could basically, if you already have a stock mount on the windshield, you could put this adapter on there, and then this would be something that would bolt from the other side, I guess. Like that basically. So instead of this bar, you'd have it there, and then you could put this into here. It's very tight fitting, so I'm not going to slide it all the way, but so he gave me a lot of things to kind of play with. And it's worth mentioning that the older Cross Glide mag mount used these custom USB cables, which are actually pretty expensive. About $20, I think, is what he has them priced at now. So yeah, you can see right now they're on sale for $20. This is the old one, and the newer version is a little bit slimmer and kind of cooler looking. Another thing worth mentioning is that some people have a hard time peeling off the this red plastic from the VHB. Some of the newer Comma VHB stickers have this little tab to help making pulling it off easier, and he's done the same with his. So that's pretty cool. You can even see he's got thread locking compound. I don't know if you can see it very easily, but this blue thread locking compound on the screws. Where relevant, he'll include stuff like that. Since I was measuring thickness of things, it would be worth showing what 14 millimeters. So that's pretty nice there. Less than 20 millimeters for the Cloud J. I can take this mount off of here and give you a better look at it real quick. Okay, so you can see what this side of it looks like. And as I was mentioning before, you could actually, it's got these little screws there, mount it like that. So anyway, I'm not sure how much more there is to show as far as the physical mount, but this is where I kick into a different mode and tell you a little bit about my experience. A little video clip that I took. But I can tell you that even at lower speeds, you could notice the rattling. That rattling had no effect on the actual driving, but it was a little annoying. So what I ended up doing was I cut like some, you can see that this is just some squares of electrical tape. So there you can see I just shoved some electrical tape, and this will take up some of the slack. Basically, the point was there was some slack in here and it would rattle around. And this was an intentional tolerance that he allowed, about 0.1 millimeter or something like that, to sort of take up some of that slack. You could put it here as well instead of down here. You could put some glue, you could put nail polish, whatever. So a lot of people will notice that. He did have some other things that he was thinking about in the past, like embedding like a spring-loaded ball kind of thing in the lock mechanism that would put some extra tension on it. I don't know if he's going to do that or what. Obviously that would have added to the expense. Anything over $100 gets people kind of crazy. You can see it was $110 for this. At some point I thought it was maybe even more, like $130 or something like that, but $110 to me is still reasonable. But now it's on sale for $99, and then this one is on sale for $69, down from $99 or $89 actually. So I mean, these prices to me are good, but you know, swapping out from these custom cables to this, which isn't as cool looking, but it still gets the job done, and that's what we really want at the end of the day, is the functionality. So I'm pretty happy with the functionality of this. The weight of the mounts, we can do that. So here is the oldest one. That was 1.9 ounces. Let's compare, and that's just, I'm not taking into account the cable or anything like that, but we got that piece, which is 0.5 ounces, and let me just remove this mount. With this one, it uses a very, very tiny Allen wrench, and I'll remove the cable from this to make it a fair comparison. So that's 1.4 ounces. So it really is very solid, but it's still light, which is nice. So that was 1.4. That's 1.8. I can really feel the heft of the magnets on this. So 1.8, 1.9. This has a VHB on it. This one doesn't. But anyway, you get the idea. This is still a very thin, very light setup. I guess I can measure this now as well. 11 millimeters. Pretty good. As a reminder, this one was like 13 or 14. Yeah, so it's even thinner than the Chun mount. So this is pretty cool. I really like it. Although this one has that really cool magnetic locking mechanism, as does the new version, or newer version. But you pay for what you get, and that one's $30 more than this one. But like I said, once again, you're gonna wanna do something to keep it from rattling. You can barely notice it when it's not on the windshield. But once the car is moving fast and you're on a bad road, you'll start to notice that little clicking sound. Anyway, I think I covered everything that I really wanted to talk about, so I hope you enjoyed the video.